Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another video. So in this lesson we're going to begin to implement some damage effects on the characters. So because I'm using robots, I want my robots, once they reach a certain level of damage, to start, emitting smoke with few sparks going off. So that's what we're going to begin with. It's just to make the game look more visually interesting to the player, add some life to the scene. So obviously, as I say, I'm using robots, you know that. If you're not using robots, you're using humanoid characters, for example, you could use blood and sweat effects. So this code will work regardless of what type of effect you want. So with that said, let's create the basics for this effect. And we'll begin by creating the variables as we always do. So we're going to create of type public particle system underscore light smoke. And we'll put this into the comment, so create slot in inspector to assign the light smoke. And you can put particle system if you wish. And we'll copy and paste that in. We're going to change light to, let's put heavy smoke. And we'll change the comment. We'll copy and paste both of those. And we'll change the first one to light sparks. And we'll change the next one to dense sparks. So we'll assign our particle systems to these slots in the inspector, but now we need a reference to the emission part of the particle system. So we can do that with particle system dot emission module underscore light smoke emission. Close the line off. We'll just put in the comments defines naming convention for the light smoke emission module within the particle system. Let's just copy and paste that below. And just as before, we're going to change that to, in fact, let's do the light ones first. Let's do light sparks. And then we'll copy and paste both of those. And I'm going to put heavy smoke emission, and we want the dense sparks. And I have light systems within the particle system that I've created. Now we could assign the light as we do here, but I'm going to do it in a different way. Again, just to show you different ways of doing things. So I think it's good to do that within these lessons. So I'm creating of type private light, and I'll just put in light smoke light. Defines naming convention for the light component within the particle system. And we'll do the same for the heavy smoke. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to have the light damage effects begin to happen when the character is at half health, and then the heavy one when it's down to its last quarter of health. So I'll create a couple of public ints, and we'll name the first one opponent health halved. Defines reference for when the opponent is at half health. And in fact, I'll not type all that out again. Let's just copy and paste that in. I'll just change that to 1/4. At 1/4 health. So let's just save that off there. I'll just wait for it to recompile. I'll just create a new scene to do this. And what I'll do is I'll need to do this for each and every model, but for now I'll just do the black robot alt prefab. So I'm dragging that into the scene. Let's reset the transform. And here's the two particle systems that I've created. Now, just a word of warning, these are not finished. However, once I've finished tweaking them, if you want a lesson on how to create these particle systems, please leave a comment. I'll be happy to do that lesson. So, if you could see, now I've created the light smoke particle system has already been assigned. Apologies for this, is because it's not the first go recording this lesson. The first one cut out, so I'm having to redo it. But I'll assign the heavy smoke, and you'll see what I mean. All we're going to do is drag and drop that particle system on to the character, and we're going to reset the transform. I'll just move that up, And again, the positioning I will tweak. I'm just doing this quickly. Once you have it where you like, and yes, I will be coming back and changing it, but just to quickly show you, once it's there, we assign it to the slot. The light, what was mentioned, if we look, they are childs of the parent object, which is the particle system. And as I said, we're going to grab the light in a different way. So that will show you two ways of doing this. And we just want to click on overrides, apply all. And I'll return back to the splash screen. No need to save that scene itself. And then all we have to do is just state the start case for each of the variables. So we'll begin in the void start. I'm going to put mine at the bottom. Opponent health halved equals, in brackets, underscore maximum opponent health divided by 2, close the line off, set opponent half to equal max health divided by 2. It's okay, I just paused then because I know I've just made a spelling mistake. I just noticed it. I'll just go back and change that. And we'll just copy that. For the opponent 1/4, max health divided by 4, and we'll just change that in the comments. So light smoke emission, that's the module within the particle system, is going to equal the particle system itself underscore light smoke dot and then the emission part and I'll just put in the comments this equal to that emission module. And then to turn off the emission, because we don't want it going on startup, only when the opponent drops to half health. We can now say light smoke emission, so we want the emission part dot enabled. We don't want it enabled, so we say equal to false, close the line off. In fact, probably be better using the actual naming convention. And I'll put enabled to equal false. And of course we can just copy that. We'll paste that in, and we can do the same for the heavy smoke. And we're nearly done now. So we need to grab the lights and the light sparks. Let's do the sparks, and we can copy all 4 of these lines. Let's paste those in. So let's get the naming convention, light sparks emission. So let's do the first one. And we'll do the same for the dense sparks. So let's just copy that naming convention. And we'll do it on the very last one. I'll tidy up the comments off camera. Again, just to save time, but now we're going to get the light. So what we're going to say is underscore light smoke light. That's going to equal the particle system dot, and I'm going to use get component in children singular, and we're using children because it's a child object. Which I showed you in the scene earlier, so that's the reason we use that. Let's get this into the comments. So set light smoke light to equal, I'll put the light smoke, I'll put light within the light smoke, or should I say attached? Yeah, attached. Attached to the light smoke particle system. Yeah, I think that's better. So we'll reference the light smoke light again, and of course we're just going to use the dot enabled is equal to false, close the line off. Enabled to false. And now we just need to do the same for the heavy smoke light. And of course, if you don't want a light attached to your particle system, you can just miss out this bit of code. It won't make any difference to anything else working, so please do not worry about that. And I'm just copying and pasting heavy smoke light in both instances here and in the comments, and we just need to change this to heavy smoke. then we'll paste that into the comments. We'll save that off. We've got all the basics set up. We're going to leave it here for this lesson. We'll pick it up in the very next video. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time. And as always, until then, bye for now.